Hey guys, Dre back at it once again with a brand new video for you, and welcome to the second review I've done in 2 days. You guys asked for it, and I have no problem giving it to you. So here is the other side of the coin in the battle of the next-gen racing games that came out within 2 weeks of each other for no damn good reason, as I review MotoGP 15. Again, just like I wanted to point out, like last time, I did write this originally, so again, I don't normally talk off a script, but again, for reviews, I feel like I do the review more justice if I plan something out as opposed to winging it like I normally do when it comes to Dre TV episodes and whatnot. If you enjoyed the review, feel free to leave a like, and please keep subscribing to the channel, which is 60 away from 6,000, that would be fantastic. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the review, and I'll catch you guys later. Sayonara. Consider this the difficult third album from Milestone as they bring forth MotoGP 15, available on current gen consoles, PC, as well as me playing on the Xbox One for the first time alongside the PlayStation 4. The game has received next to no real promotion, has very quietly gone under the radar after going on sale 3 weeks ago. But how does it hold up? Is it an improvement on the solid but unspectacular 14? Has Milestone been limited by working on the flawed ride in between? Let's find out. Note, I am playing the Xbox One version here, by the way. First up, let's talk visuals and performance. The graphics are very similar to last year, which isn't totally a bad thing given how good the 2014 engine was, but the game doesn't perform that well. The game only plays at 30 frames per second on console, and there was notable frame rate drops when riding in wet weather. A shame given the improved visual effects of rain, including the large amount of spray. A shame in today's gaming, 60 frames make a huge difference and is now almost a must for racing games, like the newly released F1 2015 or Project Cars for example. This is the third Milestone bike game to be released on next generation consoles, and I think the excuses are going to wear thin soon, and I think it's a step that Milestone needs to consider, or at least aim for a smooth 30 in all conditions, as riding in the rain was frustrating at times. The game is well presented, but there is definitely a vibe of same old about it. The same rotating outside paddock main menu shot, the same menu designs, very similar motorhomes used in career, etc. It's a small drain on that excitement that you get from breaking open a new game, especially when on the outset it looks very similar to last year's, but that's an issue with sports games in general. But how does the gameplay hold up in this year's version? The answer is excellently. Milestone have taken a huge step forward with the game's handling model. You have to be much more precise on the body weight of the rider, even on lower physics settings like standard. If you don't lean back on the braking, you'll endo the bike into corners and throw it off balance. You can't just power slide into every corner like Sam Lowe's does and expect it to stay upright anymore. The bikes have a weightier feel to them, and you have to be more precise when taking on corners. These effects are only greater highlighted if you're a hardcore player who rides with no assists or on the higher physics engines. The learning curve is slightly steeper as a result of this, but the game is so much more rewarding and satisfying to play as a result, to the point where at times I couldn't put it down. As an experience, the handling in MotoGP 15 is as good and as enjoyable and rewarding as any bike game I've ever played. The AI on the other hand though is still underwhelming. Sure, they can battle each other well and it looks great, but they still have no awareness of your presence on track, which is disappointing. And while playing the game, because they battle so much, you will constantly see races finish with a 0.00 timing sheet between them, even when it's obvious one rider's won by a wheel length. For some reason, Milestone still can't time bikes within 1/1/16 of a second and will just call ties, and then glitch by giving the wrong guy the win. It happens in career mode with me frequently, as I'm sure you've already seen. It makes no sense and it will screw you over at some point. Not exactly a deal breaker, but still frustrated at times when you finished in 8th, but the game thinks you finished 10th. On the other hand, I'm very glad the game now has mandatory penalties for cheating. Similarly, you will have time added onto a lap or race time if you are seen to have gained an advantage via cutting a corner. This can also result in a 2-strike system during races that could lead to a ride-through penalty. A welcome addition. What is frustrating though is the game needed additional DLC to complete the rosters in Moto 2 and 3 again. Seriously, the game comes out in May and June, why can't you have the rosters finalised by then? What also frustrates me is the game's very weird performance indexes and leveling system. Why can't I use my favourite rider from the start? Why can I ride as Johnny Hernandez immediately but be level 51 to ride as his teammate Danilo Petrucci? Why do I have to be level 61 and put 20 hours into the game to play as Scott Redding? Why do Cal Crutchlow and Jack Miller have the same team performance rating when Cal has a factory bike and Jack has a production one? And why is Cal's rating so much greater than Scott's when they're on the same bike? Why do I have to be level 30 plus just to unlock all the colours for gear? It's silly. The official roster should be playable from the start in its entirety. Imagine being a huge Redding fan before realising you've got to drop 20 plus hours into the game to play as him. That's rough and slightly unfair. It's okay that custom riders on bikes and the classic bikes are something you have to earn as they're special, but the official roster should be there from the get-go. Cleaning up some of the performance ratings wouldn't go amiss either. And why do I have to be level 66 to unlock a Paddocks Girl video? What is this, a Mia Khalifa shoot? The game's main meet returns in career mode, which is largely unchanged, but with one big new addition: the ability to run as a privateer team. When you ride full time, you have the option to earn GP credits which you can then use to run your own team, buying the bikes you want, like Mahindra, Honda or KTM in Moto 3, as well as attracting or attempting to attract better sponsors as the season goes on, getting more credits for the bigger sponsors instead of doing the usual of climbing the ladder and hopping from team to team. It's a superb and welcome addition, and while the customization options in terms of the look of your bike are quite limited, with there only being a couple of livery options, on the whole, I love it and I hope it gets polished further for future versions of the game. The scenario-based mode Real Events return, where you can simulate real-life events that took place during last year's 2014 season, giving you the challenge of recreating some classic moments or rewriting history. There's also a version of the mode for additional content, the 2 strokes making a return for MotoGP 15, and a new batch of 4-stroke DLC. I love the 4 strokes being added. Personally, it's my favourite era of the sport, and it brought back some amazing memories. Sete Gibernal's movie star Honda, Max Biaggi's Camel Yamaha, the Ducatis of Carlos Checa and Troy Bayliss, the LCR Honda of a young Casey Stoner. It goes on and on. A fantastic addition, and they are a dream to ride. And they even chucked in last year's bikes, so if you really wanted to ride as Michael Laverty's PBM, now you can. Overall, there's a ton of content as you can ride, and that's great, and awesome to break up alongside the MotoGP 2 and 3 bikes you'll use more frequently. Online's been given a nice update too, with a new sprint season mode to freshen things up, gaining points to move up divisions, bike classes and win championships, very similar to what's been done before in the Madden and FIFA franchises. There's also split times mode, where not only does your position matter, but also getting the fastest times in individual sectors, similarly to MotoGP's ultimate timing on TV. Both are nice additions to break up the usual monotone matchmaking. The netcode for the game is acceptable, there's a small amount of lag but nothing particularly annoying, only a small shame that the online presence for the game itself is rather small, but that can't be helped. Overall, MotoGP 15 is an excellent game. Don't let my negative tone earlier spoil your view. This is one of the best bike games ever made from a pure gameplay experience. The problem is, this game also suffers from some bad habits from Milestone that have carried over from the previous games that still really do need to be addressed. From the timing issues to the monotone AI, to the city leveling system, to the more important performance problems. It's a shame, as most of these are just minor issues, but they add up to be a small but still significant damper on what's otherwise a brilliant experience. I'm only harsh in pointing out these issues because it's the only thing that's stopping the MotoGP franchise from not only being a great bike game, but a true gem of a racing game that could and should be in everyone's library. It's so close, but it needs to stop making silly mistakes and give the game that little bit of extra polish. If it does, we could be looking at true greatness down the road.